Obi disagrees as federal government accuses Labour Party presidential candidates and running mates of treason, and some members of the House of Representatives query failure of DSS to invite Obasanjo, Datti, and others for questioning. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Tunde Abaton. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Let's begin with insecurity as we seem to be having an upsurge in attacks. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has condemned the unwarranted attacks and killings in Dabna village, Hong local government area of the state by gunmen. He condemned security agencies for their swift intervention, commended the security agencies for their swift intervention in containing the attack from spreading to other communities. Adama has been peaceful, Jide?
Yes.
It's been relatively peaceful.
Adamawa, yes, relatively peaceful. In 2014, I recall that Boko Haram controlled 7 local governments in Adamawa State alone. But it's not as if the total area between Borno State cause for concern. You know, places bordering Goza in Borno State, Boko Haram are still active in that area. What they did in Dabna, in Hong local government, was to attack the people, burn their houses, loot their foodstuff.
Is this Boko Haram or bandits?
It's Boko Haram. It's Boko Haram, yes. It's Boko Haram. They are the ones in that area. They are the ones in that area. You know? So
can you identify the faction?
It's a Shekau's faction.
Okay.
It's a Shekau's faction.
Remnants of Shekau faction?
Yes, that is still in that area. You know, they control that area, the Mandara Mountains area, that whole area, right up to the Cameroon border, is the Shekau's people. They come down from the mountain, carry out attacks. On election day in Goza, they fired RPG at voters. They did the same thing in 2019. This presidential election,
RPG.
They are not ready to come down and engage soldiers in combat.
The cowards.
They are, yes, but they come down occasionally,
Look for soft targets.
kill people, loot, and then they climb their Mandara Mountain. That's what they've been doing. There is a certain Ali Goza who has been killing members of the ISWAP faction. In fact, he went on a particular raid, he killed 11 wives of the ISWAP people, fighters. Killed 11 of their wives and ran away. So he's the one controlling this area and he's the one causing this kind of problem. Yesterday, traders who were coming from around 4 p.m. yesterday, traders who were coming from Maiduguri into Goza, 10 kilometers to Goza, in a place called Wawa Ward. They attacked people, killed 3 of them, and then ran away. So there's every reason to believe that these people, it's not as if they've left the area completely or that they've been exterminated. No. As we speak, Ambagda, the hometown of Senator Alin Dume, nobody is living there. That's in Goza local government. The senator is from Goza local government. His hometown, Gongon, his hometown, Ambagda, nobody is living there. Nobody would dare to go and live there because
that's been taken over.
Yeah, no, the boys are operating in the area. So people now, even for some people want to go to Borno South, go to places like Goza, they take helicopter because you could be attacked if you travel by road. Up till now, traders going to Maiduguri to buy things and come back to Goza, they have to be escorted by a long convoy of soldiers. This is still what is happening till today, that I'm telling you. So this Boko Haram problem will still be with us for some time, apparently. No, yes, we have done well. We worked hard, to keep attacks as low as possible. But we should not think that the threat has been completely wiped out. If they can still, just day before yesterday, this attack happened, and then, no, I think it was even yesterday that the attack happened. The same day, they attacked Wala Ward in the Goza area. So they are still there.
It's not, as in, yes, we might have succeeded in reducing the activities substantially, but 2009 till this time.
Well, I think the latest attack that's an indication that they want the government to know that they should not let off their guard yet. The Nigerian security system should not let off its guard yet. That we are still very much in the problem, and secondly, that it is also an indication that the next government should brace up and defies any other strategy. Like he said, it is not possible to actually wipe out insurgency in that particular area of the country. But we can continue to reduce it to the barest minimum by using all available techniques to neutralize them and reduce their impact to the barest minimum. But the fact remains that Nigeria is still yet far from being free of Boko Haram. And secondly, the fact that these people, they won't want to be seen as having been defeated entirely, so that there should be new security measures towards making sure that they are contained, because it's a question of containment. They should be contained within that area and should not be allowed to go some other parts to extend.
Julie, some of your documentaries that I've seen, I think it would be right and it would be good for us to commend the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, because things went from bad to worse, and then the efforts this administration that they've made so far in bringing back our hardwares, in making sure that we're able to confront these guys. Yes. Now they can't confront us again. Now they can't launch attack in super camps again. Now we've been able to substantially, this is when you can say, decimate them.
Yes, we've made tremendous progress. We have to. Why are they surrendering? They are surrendering because the heat is too much. They are not fools now. They are surrendering because the heat is too much. So, as at the last count, more than 100,000 have surrendered.
100,000?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 100,000?
Yes, more than 100,000. As at December, when I went to Maiduguri, 87,000 had surrendered. And they are surrendering every day. So, especially the Shekau faction.
That number of large...
Of course. Even in some of the attacks in which they dealt with the military, they use number. They overwhelm with number.
They would have done their Reiki and they know that this
they know like how many we need. Okay, like how many people are there. They use drones to survey an area. Boko Haram uses drones. So once they can see that, okay, how many soldiers are keeping vigil on this camp? What are the kind of weapons they are carrying? They will come with the same kind of weapons that you are carrying. They will outnumber you. To defeat an insurgency, you must be ready to outnumber the insurgents by ratio 5 to 1. Yes. Because they are stubborn. They will keep coming.
They don't mind to die.
They have greater determination than you.
Yeah.
Because it's what's it called?
Doctrine that has been...
Yes, planted in their head. Look, if you die, you are going to...
12 virgins will come and welcome you. And
I don't know who has been there before to come and tell the story. So they will keep coming. They are dying, but they will keep coming. And then the drugs that they take, those drugs drive them. You can imagine somebody seeing the Russian-built T-72 main battle tank, and he's going to stand in front of the main battle tank.
Crazy.
I mean, stupid people. You go and stand in front of even the size of the tank, and you see it is as wide as from this place to this place.
Dying for a cause.
Yes. So that's the thing. That you must outnumber them by ratio 5 to 1. They'll be sure that you will defeat insurgency, because they will keep coming. They don't give up easily. What is propelling them, you don't have it.
Okay, one sad aspect of the just concluded 2023 general election is that it puts a knife on the slender thread that binds us together. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Muhammadu Sanusi, has stressed this. Sanusi said Nigeria has never been this divided since the Civil War in 1967 to 1970. He said the country is now dangerously divided along ethnic and religious lines because of the elections. Julie, we saw a kind of a steady but worrisome trend since 2015. The defeat of Goodluck Jonathan by Muhammadu Buhari divided this nation. And some people will say Muhammadu Buhari did not do enough to bring the nation together in his 8 years. It's arguable, but...
I don't think it's his defeat that divided us. I don't think so, because, for example,
but that election
he won in the Southwest, for example.
Okay.
Though the bulk of the people don't speak his language. I don't even think that you could say that there are more Muslims in the Southwest. I don't think you can say that there are more Muslims in the Southwest than Christians. If you look at Lagos, for example, where the bulk of the population is, tremendous population of Igbos, people of the South, every nationality is here in
the
Lagos.
melting point.
Yes. You have a very, very big population of Christians here. In Oyo too, a very impressive population of Christians. Ekiti. It's like tremendous, more than 95-96% Christian. Ondo, tremendous Christian population. You know? So the point that I'm making is not to say, okay, these people, but the people who voted for Buhari in the Southwest were not propelled by his religion, neither were they propelled by his ethnicity. They thought that time was ripe for a change, and they thought that Buhari represented that change. Whether he has met their expectations is a different kettle of fish. Yes, Megaskia, you know, Mesansi. People felt that, yes, Jonathan regime was rudderless. We needed something better, you know. So, but we saw, perhaps that was where you were headed, we saw an attempt to use religion to sway voters. Because we then saw Jonathan entering from one church to another, reaching out to church leaders and all that. Some were collecting the dollars, you know. In fact, after the election, there was this claim that they shared money to Khan, although Khan came out to say, no, this was false. But we saw an attempt, not just attempts, we saw efforts made, serious efforts made to try to get the Christians to vote for that ticket by moving from church to church. Today is in the Lord's Chosen, what's the name of the church, and was moving, you know. But Buhari did not attempt to use religion at that time. I have no evidence that Buhari tried to use religion. He trusted the support because the party was a potpourri of political tendencies. So he trusted that that would deliver victory to him. And I think that when we look back, it was because everybody jumped in that he was able to win. So along with the 12 million votes that he usually got, votes came from other places. Was able to dominate the North Central, was able to dominate the Northeast. In fact, they won Nasarawa, you know. It was under Jonathan and the Buhari presidency that Nasarawa was won for the first time by the APC. That long time. That not happened before. So, but at that time, what we now saw in this election, we saw, I could say that it actually, that seed was planted during Jonathan's era, where people would think that, look, we can actually use religion, we can talk to church leaders. And this thing has continually been dividing us. You said that President Buhari did not do enough. When we rate him, his performance, in terms of national cohesion, it will be difficult to disagree with you, because there were moves that we expected him to make that will have helped us bring us together, bring us further together. But those moves didn't happen. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. That's the point that this former CBN government is making. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And Asiwaju has a lot of work to do as president-elect. You know, we were saying it here that even his first set of appointees will show clearly to people that, look, this will be a departure from the past. So he has to consciously take those steps that will help our country to heal. He has to ignore what people are saying now, those whose desire is to break our country up. He has to be focused, make the right appointment that will show that he's coming with the mindset of someone who sees Nigeria as one indivisible entity and wants to keep it as such.
Now, when you want to look at the 2023 election, you now see the division across ethnic, religious line. And everybody went to their camp, and it's like it's a divided nation. And
well, I think
you see some people saying Tinubu is the president-elect, but he's not my president.
The greatest tragedy of the Nigerian nation, right from the second coming of the military, is the fact that some people believe that religion must be part of the solution to Nigerian problem. I keep on telling people that the mere fact that you have a Christian or you have a Muslim as the president or head of state will not solve your problem. But it has become the real problem. The real problem in the sense that I tell people, when you are going along the road, go to Oshodi market, you see a man selling yam. You ask him how much is a tuber of yam, he tell you 1,500 naira. If you say 1,000 naira, if he agree, he will not ask you, are you a Muslim or are you a Christian?
Before he
will not ask you that. So the basic problem that is making Nigerians to, first of all, apart from the leaders who are using religion to get sympathy, it's unfortunate that that is what we are tackling now. The basic problem is the economy of the nation. Because when people can feed, when they can go to their bed with two eyes closed, when they can send their children to school, when they can afford basic things of life, they will not think of the fact that the president is a Muslim or the president is a Christian. But I think it is a real weakness on the part of our politicians to use. It's a weakness because when you have something to offer, you won't use your religion. I may both to say here that of all the contestants, I can say it anywhere that it was only Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the president-elect, who did not in any way use religion to campaign. He never mentioned anything. In fact, he did not even use ethnicity to campaign. But others deliberately happened. Yes, somebody went to the north and said that, vote for me because I am from the north. Somebody came to the south here. The first thing he will do is to, first of all, go to one Pentecostal church. After that, he will go to spare part market, where some people are secular. Does it mean that it's those people that will make you president? Look, this election has shown one thing. When we look at the demography, it has shown that one person is not capable of making somebody president in Nigeria.
No.
That's
why someone
Sokoto
said
State,
there is even no single godfather.
Godfather in Nigeria. In Sokoto State, in Katsina State, in Oyo State, in Ogun State, you cannot say that, or in Kaduna State, El-Rufai or Buhari cannot say that I make Tinubu the president of Nigeria. The man scored vote across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And I think we should look at the positive aspect of this 2023 election, rather than some people who have a foreclosed mind that if they don't win election, either because of social media or because of people who are deceiving them or because of religious people who are goading them into believing that
some of the religious people have said that this thing will end up in interim government. Maybe that's what they are hoping for.
So when they are saying all these things, they are just praying what is like a young lady looking for a man to get married. He has already made up her mind about the kind of a tall man that he wanted. So he will not tell God
all of us can be tall.
All of us cannot be tall. He will not tell God that it is that tall guy that normally comes to church with one particular car. At the end of the day, when God permits that marriage, and the marriage will crash midway. So most of them have selected for God. But the matter of Nigeria, what happened in Nigeria this year, God is interested in what happened, and God knows about every other thing. Because I keep on saying, anybody that has used religion, this election is a reflection of the performance of all the candidates. It shows how the level of their work. It is not about anybody
their acceptability.
And their acceptability across the length and breadth of Nigeria. But no presidential candidate will feel that if he did not become president, Nigeria will burn. I disagree.
No, Nigeria is greater
than anybody.
So, in practical terms now, how can Bola Tinubu bring us together as a nation, and so that we can speak with one voice again?
It's very easy. He has the tools that he needs. The Constitution has already stipulated federal character principle. So when you make appointments or you take decisions that appear to favor only your own part of the country, you have gone against the Constitution. Because the Constitution stipulates this federal character principle that we are trampling upon. It shows that you have gone against the law. So Bola Tinubu has to abide by the federal character principle. That is important.
So you should not play the Southwest game.
No.
So
That's not how to be. You are not a president for the Southwest.
You are president of all Nigerians.
You are a president of all Nigerians. They voted for you. In Akwa Ibom, you got 160,000 votes. You came second to the incumbent. That's the best performance by APC in its history in that state. So you are for everybody. As a president, you must work for everybody. As I've said before, because I've seen governments in this land, your first set of appointments, people they are looking forward to it. Remember the first set of appointments that President Buhari made when he appeared to load those load them with people from the north and all that. People were arguing. The Abobakus. They were saying, "Oh, it chose merit. It chose merit." President Buhari, being the honest person that he is, he came and said, "No, I didn't choose merit.
I don't even know.
I chose the people that I had been used to. These are going to be my personal staff. I chose the people that I've been used to over the years." Now you see that honesty. But people didn't like the fact that a good number of them were people, from one part of the country. That first impression lives on with people.
Yes,
and you could see that even in future appointments, there was not a complete departure from what happened that first time. So the president-elect has to be careful. And that's why I know that he's gone to France to rest, but the Bola Tinubu that I know is a restless person. All this talk about is being used to somebody that I interviewed along with my boys, Musba, Razak, and others. Yes. We started the interview around 2 a.m. We didn't finish until like 4:30. And there were still commissioners with their files in their hands waiting to see him at 4:30 a.m. So this is not something that he started today. So he has to sit down, make the right appointment. And the thing about him is that he's even more sociable than the president. Yes. He has friends that he has made across the country. Yes, you know. Yes, he's more of the president is an introvert. He's an extrovert. So he has no reason to not find people across the length and breadth of our country who can get the job done in a manner that people will see that this is a representative government. This is a government for all of us. If he does not get it right from the early stages, people will then say, "Oh, we have said it. Can you see now? We have said it."
Continuation of the last 8 years.
So that's what they are going to say, but I trust that that won't happen.
All right. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to win big? It's Max Millions.
Give me that money. Pay off bills.
We're giving away 1 million naira to our lucky listeners who win a share of the 1 million naira. Tune in to 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja from 6 a.m. Listen out for the winning song, be the 10th caller, beat the clock, and you could win big with Max Millions.
Money. Okay, he said stop. 25,000 naira. Come on.
Max Millions, only on Max FM.
After a fruitful Ramadan day, replenish your body with the right nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
Thank you for staying with us. There's fire on the plateau in north-central Nigeria over Assembly leadership tussle, acting on what it described as a move to forestall breakdown of law and order around the Plateau State House of Assembly. The State Police Command deployed personnel to seal off the complex. Jide, what is happening in Plateau State?
You know, the Nigerian politician is very interesting. On October 28, 2021, the then Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly was removed. Ayuba was removed in the heat of one crisis like that led to loss of lives and all that. When he was removed, he then decamped to the PDP. In anger, decamped to the PDP. And somebody named Sanda was put in his place. But he went to court. He went to court to challenge the impeachment. Because according to him, they didn't have the number to impeach him, but they went ahead all the same.
As usual.
He went to court because the impeachment happened around 6 a.m., which is not the normal time when the House sits. They used Edo kind of Edo magic. So the case went to court, and the court affirmed that the process, that they didn't follow due process in removing him as Speaker. Of course, in a jubilant mood, he went to the House and presided over plenary yesterday. But his opponents, who trust that they are not going to be watching him, they quickly decided to go to court to seek a stay of execution of the court judgment. Now, that leaves us with a stalemate. And that's the reason the police decided that, okay, let's go and seal this place, because now relying on his reinstatement by the court, he has every right to say, look, I'm the Speaker. The other person, relying on the fact that he's gone to court to get a stay of execution of that order, can also say, well, status quo ante. Therefore, I have equal stake to the seat. And these are the kind of things that cause friction, bloodbaths, and all that. So they decided, okay, before these people start bringing their supporters to the House, and before they start exchanging blows, of course, we've seen lawmakers exchange blows on the floor, you know. So in order for that not to happen, the police then moved to say, okay, let us take control of these premises until this matter is resolved conclusively. But what has energized the PDP is the fact that they won this election.
Yes.
You know, they won the election, they won 16 seats in the House. APC won 7, and YPP took 1. They also won the governorship election. So they are confident that they are going to start a new reign. But in my view, since we have less than 60 days to inauguration, why is this happening? Is it that the man just wanted to be able to say, look, I remain the speaker, I was not properly impeached, therefore it should be on record that I remain the speaker up to the end of this dispensation. I don't know whether that is his own goal, but the matter is still in court, and it may get to Supreme Court. I won't be surprised.
Today, why is it that, like, I know most state House of Assembly, they cannot move, they cannot do anything without the consent of their governor. I don't know where Governor Lalong is in this one.
No, he's supporting the man who is there now, the Sander.
Okay, the one
It's not supporting the person who was removed. Okay. Supporting
basically, I think the problem with our democracy is that, you see, Nigerians, politicians especially, we are not patient with democratic principles. And for you to uphold democratic principles, you must respect the rule of law. The reasons why governors are holding most of the state House of Assembly is the step, how they emerge as members of the House of Assembly. All states in Nigeria, all governors in Nigeria want that they influence the primary of their political party. So when the governor has a hand in how you emerge as the candidate of your party, there's no way we will not control you. Unlike what happened in the Second Republic, where the speaker can just tell the governor to order. But now the governor controls the House. Most of the governors, 100%, they fund the election expenses of members of the House of Assembly. So when they get to the House of Assembly, you discover that the House of Assembly is in the pocket of the governors.
Yes.
So
they even determine who becomes
speaker. They determine
speaker.
who becomes the speaker. They determine the majority leader. So it is that process. I have always believed that if we want to have real democracy in Nigeria and to stop corruption in this country, we should have a system in which money should not determine everything about our politics. But somebody will have money in Lagos now. If we go to Ogun State or your state, his village that has not been for 5 years or 10 years, he will give the party money. The money is enough to fund the party. So he will become the candidate. So to people there, it may be unknown. But because he brought money, some people who fund the payment of salary of political parties for 6 months, there's no way he will not emerge the candidate of the party at the end of the day. So when he becomes the candidate and he should become the governor, he will control the House of Assembly. So it is the question of money. And secondly, I think we should be content with respecting democratic principles, which is the rule of law. The moment we don't respect the rule of law, we have all this kind of thing happening. Naturally, no matter what you say, the man should be reinstated. Maybe it's 45, 60, less than 60 days. Let them reinstate him so that a signal will have been sent to others that you don't impeach anybody by following your own way. Make sure that you follow the normal process of impeachment. And that was what brought Ladoja back to power. When Nakala and the government
went to Diroban's hotel and sat down.
Ladoja in one way. At the end of the day, the court proved that Ladoja was not properly removed from office. And he came back as the governor of the state.
But usually difficult for speakers.
It's always difficult
for speakers to have them reinstated, because you must have the support of your colleagues. If your colleagues don't want to,
unfortunately, most of his colleagues are on their way out. They have lost elections.
Yes. So now they are divided. They are really even divided on this matter. Some are with him, some are not with him. You know, originally, that is PDP state.
Yes.
Lalong won because of the disagreement within PDP itself. When they told him, look, you cannot choose your successor all by yourself. Another said, no way.
Choose his son-in-law.
He said, no way, we won't allow that to happen. And they frustrated him, you know. So he's always been a PDP state. They are, right now, they are divided. Some are with him, some are not with him. But, you know, governors, Obasanjo was using 7 people, 6 people
Yeah,
to
I
impeach
wanted to say
governors.
that the impunity started that time.
It started
The House of
He
Assembly.
is the grandfather of impunity in our country.
In Nigeria.
You know, he removed Datti
Yes.
with just about 7 persons or so.
This governor Lalong was the speaker.
He got what's his name? No, this Anambra, yes, the Anambra governor. This
Yes.
This person, Obi.
Okay.
They got him impeached. In fact, they went to do the. I think it was Asaba that they went to sit.
They just took the
And the
lawmakers,
law,
put them in the
law
civilian
does
vehicle.
not allow you to impeach outside of the
Assembly.
assembly.
It was after the Ladoja's case. That's they are
Once he
found
does not like you, they will use. They can even use the EFCC. They will go and harass
Yeah, no,
people.
they will harass the lawmakers. They'll put them in a place. They'll tell them they'll go to jail. Before you know it, the lawmakers are singing.
That was what they
can
did
even sit 1 a.m.
to Fayose.
Fayose.
They brought the
Fayose.
lawmakers to Lagos here.
Yes, yes.
You
I
know,
saw
they
those
took them
lawmakers.
to Akodo.
There are times they will
Bought
they
clothes
stole
for
the
them.
maize. They stole the maize.
They were
brought it
going
to
for. I think they were going for a training abroad. Also, when they hijacked them and just drove them all the way to
Put them in Coastal bus.
Akodo, and the next time I saw them, some of them were wearing T-shirts. That was not what they were wearing at the airport where we saw them. And they told them, look, go and impeach your governor. And unfortunately for them, because they thought that the then CJN, the then Chief Judge of the State would not support them, they then decided to suspend. They went beyond their own powers. To suspend the Chief Judge of the State. And that was what rendered the entire impeachment a nullity. So when people say Fayose was impeached, it is not known to law that Fayose was impeached. Fayose was never impeached as far as the law is concerned. And that's why when he tried to return, and some people said, no, it should have been 10 years before he can return to be a governor. The Supreme Court ruled that the impeachment was a nullity. Because Obasanjo asked Justice Belgore to give a legal advice to him with the Deputy Governor, Biodun Olujimi,
Yes.
taking a claim to the seat, and the Speaker too.
Friday.
Because the woman said, I did not commit any offense. So if you impeach the governor, I'm supposed to step in. In the end, Obasanjo brought a retired military man against, yes, with an antiquated law. The law that Obasanjo was using, whereby, state of emergency, is an antiquated law in the 60s. That's why nobody can come up with state of emergency again. I still hear some people say, impose a state of emergency. Nobody can do that again. Obasanjo did that and got away with it. But the courts have shown that it was an illegal law that was used. So you cannot do state of emergency in our country anymore. Nobody can try it anymore.
All right. The furor raised over the inciting comments by top politicians in the country is yet to die down. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has described the allegation of treason leveled against him and his running mate, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, by the federal government as malicious, fictitious, and an apparent campaign of calumny against them. Meanwhile, some members of the House of Representatives queried the rationale behind the decision of the Department of the State Services, DSS, not to invite the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed. How is Obasanjo connected to this?
Well, because everybody knows that Obi happens to be his preferred candidate, and he did not hide it. Another thing is that, you see, the problem I have with leaders in Nigeria is that they behave as if they are illiterate. We have a government, we have an election that was conclusive. A winner was declared. The next step for you to do is to go to the tribunal, and people should go to the street. You cannot be on the street and be in the tribunal at the same time. And secondly, unlike June 12, which announcement was aborted midway. This one was a concluded election. So you cannot abort a pregnancy that has been delivered. That pregnancy of that February 18 has been successfully delivered. We all know the baby. We all know the baby. So we have even named the baby. The baby is in the process of being given his birthright. And you now see that you have aborted the pregnancy that gave them back to him. It's only returning Nigeria to 30 years behind. Those people are championing or campaigning for interim national government. They are only returning Nigeria back to what we witnessed in 1993. And it is unfortunate, which means we are taking 30 years backward. As for leaders who come over the television, I know he was referring to that thing as fictitious. What is the definition of fictitious? Something that does not exist. So how can you say that that claim is fictitious? Because somebody will come over the radio and television and start saying some things that even threaten you or even very insistent on that particular thing. And the problem we have in Nigeria is that leaders, when they are in front of television crew or in front of reporters, they can say, because of emotions that brings with it, besides religion, it is politics that bring emotion. They will say a lot of things. When you play the tape back to them or you record it back to them, they will begin to say they deny what they have said. But like the Bible says, that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Yes. It is what is in their heart that they have said. So for them to go back, let them play the tape to them and say that I did not say this thing. But they allow emotion to carry them away, forgetting that emotion can lead a country to a lot of crises like we have in Rwanda. So there's no way when you want to, like Abela used to say, may his soul rest in peace, say that you don't urinate into a river you are going to drink from. If you know that you are still going to drink from that river, don't urinate inside it because you go back home and bring your cup and drink from it. So if they want to rule Nigeria, why must they call people out to protest? So they are not patriotic Nigerians. I remain convinced that they are patriotic about the country they want to rule. And I think such leaders who are urinating inside the river they are drinking from, they are not qualified to be Nigerians. Because if there is crisis today, I tell people, all those people calling for ING, they will not be beneficiary of that.
ING is a military rule.
Because it's a military rule. So you are calling for a coup. And you cannot call for a coup when we had an election that has been concluded and the baby has been delivered. We have named the baby.
Yes.
Just for us to hand over the baby to the mother and say, go away like a priest.
The naming ceremony is supposed to be May 29.
May 29. So why calling for...
it's very similar to our friends in the Southeast when the baby is born.
Yeah, it's 40 days. It's 40 days. They are not like Yorubas. No, 90 days.
90 days, Abi?
One
the Yorubas is 8 days, Abi?
They brought one baby to my church last Sunday, and I christened the baby about 3 months ago. So I was looking at them that you are still with this practice. They said that is their culture. Who am I?
So after 90 days, this baby that was born on
February 18th.
On February 25th.
Yes.
In terms of the christening of that baby, is similar to the culture of our friends
from the Southeast. Yes.
In terms of the number of days.
90 days.
It's 90 so days. It's very similar. So when you start calculating.
They will call the child baby throughout that 90 days. The name will not come out.
What we want to see is peace in our country. Yes.
18 hours before the release of the result.
Even before the results had come in fully.
He wrote that
he had already written off the election because he did not go. He went against his wish. Here is a man who could not deliver his polling booth for his candidate. A man without electoral value is now coming to say no, the election was not free and fair. So that is the reason some people say, this whole eating up of our politics, it was Obasanjo that started it. Why didn't you invite him?
How can you abort a pregnancy midway?
That's the point that they made. That was some of those people on the floor. That was the point that they made. Then Datti. For me, I don't think that Obi has said anything that is treasonable. Because I've not heard where Obi said anything treasonable. In fact, Obi told his supporters to stop going to the court premises. I think on the day he went to submit his...
Refers to toe the line of peace. Anytime.
Yes, he said, when the tribunal begins to sit, do not come and clog the premises of the court. And he's been saying, look, I'm going to pursue my case in a legal manner. All that I can do is encourage Obi, since you have chosen the path of peace,
yes.
Do not deviate.
Do not deviate. Your supporters.
Yes, and talk to your supporters. Like somebody getting into an airplane and behaving funny, like a lunatic. There's no need for that.
It's cooling his feet.
Talk to your supporters. No need to heat up the politics. Some of, Soyinka does not intervene all the time, but yes. Soyinka himself said that he's worried about the attitude of the obedience. They abuse people. Nobody has an opinion except them.
Yes, no.
And even some of the spokespeople.
Most of our senior colleagues, the way what they do, what they write.
So even some of the spokesmen of the party.
No.
You see some of the comments that they are making, the way they abuse people. Soyinka now said, look, election has ended. You cannot be spokesman forever. Why are you still eating all the politics the way you abuse people when the election has ended? This is just thorough abuse of the social media. People get away with so many things. I wish that many Nigerians can do what Emeka Ofo did, whereby somebody accused him wrongly and he got the person arrested and got that person to take back the nonsense that he said. Because I've seen people say, drug baron, drug this. There's nothing that they don't call this man. And there's no conviction.
Yet.
There's no conviction.
Anywhere in the world.
No conviction. So now,
no conviction, no indictment.
If you are saying Datti went on TV and spoke in a very irresponsible manner. Look at what he said. He said, Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJN, your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I'm taking this risk for the sake of my country. Which risk are you taking? Yes, it is extreme. I'm saying it. So even when they tried to restrain him, he still said, yes, it is extreme. I'm saying it. It was one extreme for Yakubu, the INEC chairman, to issue that certificate of return. It was reckless. He's putting all our lives in danger. How has he put our lives in danger? Has anybody knocked on your gate to say he wants to kill you? I'm telling you that on the 29th of May, 2023, swear in Tinubu, as this result is, you have ended democracy, whoever you are. Absolute bunkum. The democracy will not end.
And this somebody who wanted to rule Nigeria.
You cannot swear in people who have not met constitutional requirements. Let the court decide whether they didn't meet constitutional requirements. You then say, do not meet the constitutional requirement, must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Datti Baba Ahmed. You see, there has to be limit to inciting comments that people can make on TV because they have the privilege of sitting in a studio and talking to Nigerians. If you want to have the liberty to say whatever comes from the inner recesses of your heart, set up your own
social media,
your own TV station. Let us see that the person, we are a nation governed by laws. The press caused over 1 million deaths in Rwanda.
Yes, no.
Broadcast journalists caused over 1 million deaths in Rwanda. When we talk about it, that people can't come on TV and abuse privilege. People are saying, the media is being gagged, the media is this. As I said yesterday, Ayo can sit here and say something that will start killings in northern Nigeria.
Yes, no.
You're not careful.
You remember the role that one publication made, even in the Civil War, leading to the Civil War, when after the death of Ahmadu Bello, they put his corpse on the ground and then they purported to interview him, ridiculing him.
Along the street of Kaduna.
Ridiculing him.
And that was what prompted
the students, ABU students in anger. They first protested. Gradually, Civil War came. People who have no sense of history. They think they can come on TV and just open their mouths wide in a manner that can set our country ablaze. that they are going to be resisted. They've got to be resisted when they take it to that point. And that's what I was saying yesterday, that look, that do you know that somebody can sit where you are and say something? What that person has said can spark riots and people will be killed in the north.
Sometime in 1989, if you could remember, the publication of a fake edition of Ebony magazine sparked up riot in Nigeria.
Yes, many people were killed.
Many people were killed. That thing nearly caused late Dr. Taisho Larin his image, because they gave him a fake copy of Ebony magazine that he asked people to come to the street, and some people died. So when you publish fake news, people should be held, like I said, anybody who wants to rule this country, Nigeria, even to be a councillor, you should be somebody who is responsible enough to know that your statement can cause the death of some people.
You are trying to frighten judges that they should not come and do inauguration. Who are you?
The proceedings should be televised live.
The judges, no, that one is judges. I said inauguration, that they should not do inauguration. Trying to frighten them that if you come to do it, that's an invitation for military. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you can call, of course, you can call for that they can carry it live. There's no big deal about that.
Some guys went to defense headquarters early last week in Abuja and said the military
they want military
in Nigeria. In this country,
maybe they were listening to Datti.
That is what
and it's the same man who accused El-Rufai of treason, just because El-Rufai decided that, look, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, has taken a decision. I'm going with the Supreme Court. So disobeying the president has suddenly become treason. And these people will say, they are federal, I mean, they believe in federalism. You are calling somebody, you are saying somebody is guilty of treason because he chose not to obey an illegal decision that the president made. Because the president is not bigger than the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court of Nigeria.
You, the same person, you are the one now trying to frighten judges.
And unfortunately, most of these people, they carry their international passport inside their pocket. When
they are ready to run away any moment. They have the money. People. The rest of us who have not got money to buy tickets, where are we going?
I think emergent or future leaders should be taught the act of being responsible in their statements, in their actions.
I mean, this is reckless now.
The National
and they tried to restrain him, he did not listen.
The National Peace Committee too should play a role.
Should play a role now.
After the election, if you lose, go to court, or if you
don't
you
cannot be on the street.
No, the thing is, they've gone to court.
They have gone to court.
But you can't say, okay, now you said you are leaving it in the hands of the court. But in one breath, you are trying to incite Nigerians.
Trying to go to the street.
You are trying to incite Nigerians in another breath. And you say you've gone to court. You are threatening judges that they should not do inauguration. You are telling president that he should not allow inauguration to take place. In fact, the art of telling the president that, look, cancel the election. Where has he got the power to cancel an election? Where has the president, and you are telling president to cancel it, where has he got the power? Is he a court? Is the president as an individual a court? Look at some of the ridiculous things that are happening during this electoral season. I mean, it's just ridiculous, plain ridiculous.
Tunde Abaton, I want to thank you for your contribution. Nambikio, thank you for your contribution. And that's our program today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubaku. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
I need something we go ginger me. With Tom, I dey breathe for it now.